Hello, it is Thursday on the Oncers, and you're here with the Crimson Angel 100, here to give you my opinions and some fan art that I finally have. I have bullet points because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot. First off, I'm going to talk about the new character that is on the show, which is Tumara. And I saw this episode like 3 times because I was trying to dissect everything she was saying, all her dialogue, because I noticed with the writers, they're very careful whenever they have a new character. They're very careful with dialogue, that sometimes there's clues in their dialogue. And I I think a lot of the stuff lines up with our Monday collaborator, Once Upon a Tweak, that his theory is that it's Tiana from Princess and the Frog. And you know what? I think that actually lines up. And he was dead on with the her is actually her. And I think when she walked away in the scene, in the flashback, to talk on the phone, she was most likely talking to Owen Greg. So she was in cahoots with him for probably a while. Now, on to why she hates magic. Here's my theory. I think, of course, she was never born in Gianta Forest. She was from our world, along with her Prince Naveen type of character. They were engaged, most likely. And I think they encountered a guy that was like the Shadow Man, Dr. Facilier from that movie. He probably turned him into a frog and captured him some way, and since she doesn't know about their world and knows about the cure is true love's kiss, she's probably on this quest, not this quest, but this vengeance streak to find any types of magic that's strong enough to turn him back, one, and eliminate anyone who has magic, because she's so vengeful that she probably views all magic as evil because of what it took from her. Because I noticed the ongoing theme with, because if you look at Regina, for example, her path in the very beginning, she was like a potential Disney princess, and then she goes to the path of Disney villain. So, and it was just from the loss of her love, Daniel. And I think it's the same scenario with this Tumara character, if she is the Princess and the Frog character. So that's my theory on her. And from the get-go, I really didn't like her. The fact that she was keeping apart Swanfire, but now I even if she is Tiana, I don't like it when she just, oh my god, she's playing Neil. It's like, oh my god, she's just playing him like a fiddle. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm probably gonna be the only one to say this. I I don't like the Owen dude. I don't like him at all. I know he misses his father, and that's his main motivation for trying to track down the town, Storybrooke. And I have to mention this for a moment, but the interaction between him and Regina was really funny. Like, when he's like, "Oh, you haven't changed at all. It's like time has stood still. All this monthly juice cleanse." I thought that every time I saw that, I was dying laughing. That, oh, I age really well. I just take real good care of myself. Like, playing off that she's in her 50s now, and I thought that was hilarious. Oh my god. Is it just me, or was Regina kind of like partially flirting with him a little bit? Like, you're all grown up. I don't know, that might have been just me. I don't know. Um, but I kind of agree with, I believe, our Tuesday oncer when they mentioned about Snow's trip to the dark side, where it's not really a voluntary moments, it's just sporadic fits of rage where she's just gonna randomly hit people. I kind of would have liked it where, hopefully they're not gonna cure it. I'm gonna get more back to the darkness thing later, but hopefully they're not gonna cure it this season. They're gonna have where it's a story arc for season 3 where she's gonna. I would have liked it where she's constantly being just more aggressive, and she's kind of bending the rules a little bit to the point where good touches dark, to the point where she crosses the line at one point where she's against Charming, as she is like a potential villain, almost aligning with Regina to the point. Not aligning with Regina, but worse than Regina. But that would have been like a season storyline for season 3. and that would have been really interesting. But can I just say, I'm not really crazy how they're treating dark, like Snow White's dark heart, and I have to say that all this meant talking about heart, taking out your heart, it kind of sounds like Kingdom Hearts, and that's why I was wearing my Kingdom Hearts t-shirt right now, because it sounds a lot like Kingdom Hearts. But I just didn't like the way Charming, like, I'm torn, because on one side I like the fact that he was like standing by her no matter what, but on the same side he's like condoning what she did in a way, and two, it's like they're acting as if she just has a disease and they want to try and find a magical cure for it. Excuse me. And they're just trying to find a magical cure for it. Like, oh, okay, just, you know, and the theme of this whole episode was just redemption. August was trying to find redemption, you know, for what he's done in the past. And that's why I really like August, because he's a very relatable character. Because he's done stuff in the past that he's not really proud of. You know, he's dealt with his cowardice and his stealing and things that he's dealt with in the past. I didn't like the ending. I'll get to that later. But I just like, oh, we'll find a way. It's like, I actually thought it was going to cause more of a rift between them, and the fact that it's like, I don't know how that's kind of being handled. That it's like, oh, her darkness is like a disease that they have to cure with some sort of magical cure. I don't know. It's like, we'll see how that plays out. But I want to talk about a ship that I secretly had in season 1 that I never told anyone. But that's pretty much, it's sunk and dead. And that's Red August. Yeah, August and Red Riding Hood. I secretly had that little ship that, because in season 1, in the episode Red Handed, when he was August, the mysterious drifter, she was giving him the googly eyes when they were talking about lemurs and things, and, he wasn't resisting it. He was kind of flirting back a little bit. And my little story I wrote in my head is that, oh, since he knew her as Pinocchio, at that point I think I figured out he's Pinocchio, he saw her as an adult in the Enchanted Forest. Like, they were all around the table. He was with his father. I'm like, he probably had a crush on her when they were in the Enchanted Forest. And now he comes back, he's an adult, and now the roles are reversed. She's got a crush on him. And I thought I was like, oh man, that would be so cute if they become a couple. Like, and that's kind of gone. And I know it's, the whole reunion with the father is really bittersweet, because on one side they're together, but on the same side, August is dead. Slice it however you're going to slice it. August W. Booth, the character that was like the potential older brother to Emma, the character that was a potential uncle for Henry, is dead. He's dead. You know, the 28 years of life experience he has is gone. You know, and I find that really upsetting, because I really like that character. And you have little Pinocchio, and you know, here is, you know, the fan art. I'm going to just go into the fan art now, because I talked a lot more than I wanted to. Here is grown August. Here, and yeah, it's the wood grain and everything. And little Pinocchio, because you know why I drew them separately? Because I consider them two separate characters. I don't really consider them the same character, even though I know it's different progressions in his life. You know, 28 years later he turns into this, but through life experience he became two different characters. So, you know, I always viewed them as two different characters, even when I figured out that he was Pinocchio. You know, it was, you know, that was just my opinion. And I also have fan art of Emma. She has not appeared like this on the show at all, but there was actually promo pics of her wearing armor like this, and I just thought it was really awesome if she actually wore this on the show. And here's a full view of it. Emma Swan, full, like, warrior princess type of thing. I'll probably draw another one of her as a Disney princess, but I have to say that, I really hope, because they de-aged him to get his life back with his father, I really hope they don't pull that hat trick with both Emma and Neil, where towards the end of the series or whatever, that they turn her back into a baby so she could be with her parents, and they grow old together and they're able to raise her. And then they pull the same scenario with Neil and they turn him to be 14 again. If they do that, I'm gonna scream, because I'm not having that, you know. And I really hope they don't do that with Snow either, where they de-age her in order as the cure to, you know, take away the darkness, and then all of a sudden you see Bailey Madison running around Storybrooke. Because then that'll be kind of weird, because then Charming will be married to like a 14-year-old. Because I just hope this de-aging thing doesn't become an ongoing thing, and I hope this is just a one-case scenario. I was still upset with this one-case scenario because I really like August, and, you know, that character's dead. Like, he is, but he isn't. It's like, he is. August is dead. And I believe I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. And I'm gonna close up by showing my fan art again, because I really love this Emma one. I'll probably show this again in another video. And I'm gonna ask you, what did you think of this episode? Did you like the fact that he was de-aged and he gets to spend time with his father? Personally, I didn't. And who do you think my theory of, well, actually mine and Once Upon a Leaks, it's really his theory. I just confirmed. I feel it's very. I think he's right on the money that Tamara is Tiana. But my theory is that about her reasoning for hating magic. And I would like to ask you, what do you think of Tamara and her whole scenario? Do you think she is Tiana from Princess and the Frog? Do you think she's someone completely different from either the Enchanted Forest or wherever? Write your comments below on who you think Tamara is. Do you think they'll make de-aging a theme? And what would you have thought of Red August?